Aren't you just happy that the election is finally over? Oh wait, it's not? It is astonishing reading headline after headline about how there was absolutely no fraud taking place in the US election. Remember 4 years ago when the Russians altered the election so easily? Well, absolutely zero interference this time around. And I promise you it's got nothing to do with the winner. Don't believe me? Well, don't take my word for it. Here are a few headlines from the mainstream media. The Times called officials in every state no evidence of voter fraud. Mitt Romney reports no evidence of voter fraud in the election. In Pennsylvania, we've seen absolutely no evidence of voter fraud. You see? And actually, Trump is the true perpetrator of election fraud. CNN, most trusted name in news. Or, well, actually one of the least trusted ones, it turns out. Now, we have to be fair, because most of these news outlets actually changed their wording recently to say GOP lawmakers heading into the legislative session take aim at voter fraud despite no evidence of widespread problem. Trump Commission did not find widespread voter fraud. Voter fraud is real, just not on the scale that Trump is claiming. Okay, so there was some fraud, just not that much, and at the very least it for sure wasn't widespread election fraud. You see, Trump is claiming that
everyone is saying, wow, the evidence is overwhelming.
But in reality, that's very difficult to prove. Unless, of course, 200,000 votes in Michigan were given to Biden around 6 in the morning. I mean, sure, it looks bad, but that's just one state. It's not like this happened in other states that ended up actually deciding the election. Well, wrong again. 100,000 votes coming in for Biden in the middle of the night. Look guys, it doesn't matter, okay? Biden won fair and square. You guys are just into conspiracy theories. Forget about all the dead people voting multiple times. Forget about all the people voting in multiple states. Forget about hundreds of sworn affidavits claiming voter fraud by people like these.
Not one of the military ballots was a registered voter. And the ballots looked like they were all exactly the same Xerox copies of the ballot. They were all for Biden across the board. There wasn't a single Trump vote throughout the day. That's how they would override voters that were neither in the electronic poll book or the supplemental updated poll.
What's going on here is unbelievable. He said, let me show you something right now before I leave. So he walked me over to the high-speed scanners and tabulators. He said, these are all hooked into the internet, and that is illegal, and it should not be happening because it opens them up to hack.
I also saw the ballots being dropped off about, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock, 3:30, I think I've heard 4 o'clock is by my estimation. There was a delivery, I would estimate, because the table in the center next to the main stage is where the ballots were brought to. Somewhere at least 60 boxes were brought in.
I see a truck at the loading dock coming in the back of the TCF Center. And by the time I looked, Mr. Baxter and his management team were personally holding in boxes and carrying them in.
I'm looking at these numbers here, 84 boxes, 600 each in each box, over 50,000 ballots. Where did these ballots go?
There was not a single ballot the whole night, the whole 27 hours I was there, that I saw that was for Donald Trump, not one.
Conspiracy theorists. And by the way, you should be banned off of social media for suggesting that Biden maybe didn't win. What do you think, we live in some kind of democracy? You can't just say what you want, my goodness. So finally, it looks like the power-hungry warmongering machine in Washington will be back in power. Which, I mean, huge victory, guys. Look out, you few countries in the Middle East who haven't yet been bombed into smithereens. Cause we just had 4 years of no new wars started. We have had multiple peace deals signed between Israel and the surrounding Muslim nations. But now, forget all of that, it's finally back to serious business. So guys, most importantly, don't believe your lying eyes. And for goodness sake, don't share this video so other people see it before it gets censored.